Greetings from Florida. Today we're working on a Hyundai Tucson 2016 through 2020. This is the right rear, the passenger rear door. The video is at double speed to make it a little faster to watch. So you've got one screw there, and that's it. You're going to see me looking for another screw behind there, but there is nothing back there. Just that one screw in the armrest. Nope, sorry Scott, nothing there. Move on. Okay, it's nothing there. So you get the one screw, one Phillips screw right there. And then we're going to pull off the panel. Oh, I took off the triangular trim cover at the top. Just pops out. Panel comes right out. And then you've got two cables. I don't know if I can show you this or not. You got one thing to unplug there and two cables that pops right off. Move that out of the way. That entire black panel is getting replaced. Make sure that the one you have is the same one that you're taking out so you don't have to do this twice. Phillips screws for the speaker, that comes off. Unplug that. Take off the window motor. It's a little bit easier. It's a T20 if I'm not mistaken for the screws there. Torx 20. Motor comes right off. The plastic gear is what usually strips out on these, but you're replacing the entire regulator assembly without the motor. Slide it down. You've got a 10mm bolt right there. You can take that out to loosen it. You can be throwing that bolt away. Separate the glass from that channel. Put it up, suction cup. Keep it out of your way. Or you can use some tape. If you're going to use tape, try to use the blue or green painter's tape. 10mm bolts all around coming out. And then you've got a nut there, and there's another bolt I'm going to take off in a minute. The wiring harnesses have to come out because you're putting into the new regulator. So for that, you might need a pair of needle nose pliers. Those weren't needle nose, but you get the idea. Take out all of the prongs that hold the wiring in place. Oh, that plastic piece you'll need too, so take that out. The one I just took out, that white square plastic piece that the screw goes into. Now I'm just loosening this up. I can't pull it out yet. You're gonna need to take off the plastic bracket that the cables go in, and try to keep the orientation the same so you know which way that's going back. You're going to need to take out the outside handle and the latch. You may not need to take it out of the door, but you will need to loosen it up. So you've got a 10mm bolt in there, but I think I ended up using a Phillips screwdriver to take it out. And then you're going to pull out the outside handle and pull off the bezel where normally the key cylinder would be. There is no key cylinder on this, obviously. And I'm going to pull out that bolt, make it a little bit easier. So pull that back. There you go. Took it out. And then the handle you pull towards you, and then it comes right out. And take off the rubber gaskets that are there too, otherwise they'll fall off and you'll lose them. So then you've got a Phillips screw there that you're going to loosen. And you've got T30, Torx 30 bolts that hold the latch to the door, and you'll see that it requires a little more torque than I've got. So I need a better 30. Now, if you can do this without removing the latch, your life will be easier. You may need to remove the latch, which will also involve removing the outside carrier that that handle went into. I'm loosening that up, that bolt right there. And I was able to do this without removing the latch. You're going to need to unplug the wiring harness that goes to the door lock actuator, that goes to the latch. And you'll need to get those two cables that go to your handle through it. And what else? Oh, there's a white plastic plate bracket that goes from the latch to that door panel. You're going to see it in a minute. Again, if you have to take out the whole thing, take out the whole thing, but with any luck you can do this without doing that. A little WD-40 would be a good idea on that plate. Try not to break the rubber covers on these cables. Life will be easier if you can get them through without breaking them, ripping them. So I was able to pull that white plastic piece back to get it off. And you'll see in just a minute. And there it is. See the white piece? About 4 inches long by about 2 inches tall. I'm taking out a couple more clips that hold the cable in place. By the way, if this is helpful for you, if you find this video helpful, please like the video. Like the video. That'll help other people find it as well. Then you're going to move the entire wiring harness through there. Let's grab the new regulator. I'm just readjusting the suction cup. Nope. There you go. Just like that. So feed that through. And then we're going to feed that through the top. And then we're going to plug it back into the, notice a little WD-40 right there on that white plastic plate. It's going to make it a little bit easier to slide everything in. If you want to see how to take out the entire latch assembly, check out my other video for the same door, for the same car, but the left rear door, the driver's rear door. So I'm going to feed those cables through. It's kind of important to get the entire rubber piece through there properly. Next, I'm going to plug in the wiring harness. And I'm also plugging in some of the clips from the wire. I'm just trying to pop in one of those clips into the panel. And let's put in a couple of the 10mm bolts. All right, let's put in all the 10mm bolts. If you have any questions, just ask on this YouTube page. If you're in Tampa Bay or Sarasota and you'd like us to do this for you, feel free to ask on this page and I'll be glad to get right back to you. Thanks. So now I'm putting back the outside handle and the latch. I'm pulling up the bracket manually. Do it gently, you'll be fine. And you need to put the motor on before you put the glass onto it. Otherwise, the glass just sinks down in the door. So plug in the motor. You get the Torx 20 screws, bolts, whatever you want to call them. I guess they'd be bolts. That background noise is my border collie, Darcy. So now the outside handle. Putting the gaskets back on, putting the outside handle back on. After you get the bezel back on, you need to put the 10mm bolt back in to hold that bezel in place. I started trying to do it with Phillips, but I realized I needed a magnetic, so a 10mm magnetic is probably the better way to go. And then put the cover back on that. Little WD-40 on the two up and down channels on the sides, lightly, lightly. They dry out, the rubber dries out from the heat and causes the glass to grab. Now, what am I doing now? Oh, I'm testing it out. And then just put those back in the way you saw them. Speaker, 4 Phillips screws. And that's pretty much it. I'm going to put the door panel back on, plug in the wiring harness. Don't forget to put the cables back on to the handle. And then remember to try everything out. Try the handle out from the inside and see if it opens the latch. And try it from the outside and see if it opens the latch before you put everything back together. Make sure that that's good. And I appreciate you watching. Good luck with your project. And again, if this was helpful, please like the video. Take care now.